everyone, Miss GoElectric here. Now, I have gone outpost camping in remote places where there is no electricity, and for that reason, I haven't taken e-bike out on those types of trips. When Mokwheel reached out for me to review this Basalt ST, another fat tire bike, I was a little hesitant, but then I learned that it could solve those problems and I'd be able to take it on a remote camping trip like that. Now, how does this bike do that? Well, the answer is right here in this waterproof container. In here is an inverter, which will allow you to charge up this bike using solar panels, and it'll also let you use the power from the big battery here for coffee maker, say a Starlink satellite, or even your phone or laptop devices. But this bike has a lot more features to talk about, and we're gonna get into the specifications and then take it for a ride. The Mokwheel Basalt ships as a Class 3 e-bike, which means you have access to both pedal assistance and throttle with the ability to reach a top speed of 28 miles per hour with help from the motor. The 750-watt rear hub motor is capable of putting out 90 Newton meters of torque. The battery operates at 48 volts using Samsung cells with 19.6 amp-hour capacity, which is equivalent to 940.8 watt-hours. This battery is removable so it can be charged on or off the bike. A 3-amp charger is included for a full charge in 5 to 6 hours. Mokwheel's website says this combination can deliver a range between 60 and 80 miles. The Basalt comes in 2 aluminum frame styles. The step-over frame can accommodate riders between 5'6" and 6'8", whereas the step-through frame has 2 sizes to choose from. The normal frame can fit riders between 5'2" and 6'4", and the large frame has a rider range between 5'6" and 6'8". Each frame is available in 3 color options. The bike weighs about 77 pounds and can support a maximum payload capacity of 350 pounds. These are Tektro hydraulic brakes with 180mm rotors. The shifter and 7-speed tourney derailleur are made by Shimano. The Overlord hydraulic front fork has 100mm of travel, and these puncture-resistant tires are 26" by 4" wide. The Basalt ST includes an integrated headlamp and tail lamp, plus a rear rack and electric horn. The optional power inverter Mokwheel sells is rated at 1,000 watts. On the front of the device, you'll find 2 USB-C ports, a USB-A port, as well as a DC barrel port for output. There is also a DC input port, which makes it possible to charge the bike using solar panels. The AC button enables 2 standard household 120-volt outlets. The device comes with the proprietary cable needed to plug into the bike and a waterproof hard case which mounts to the frame. Mokwheel includes a 2-year warranty on parts, but there are only a small number of physical service locations scattered across the US to carry out the work. Well, this will be the first time that I'm testing out a fat tire e-bike in this price range that has a torque sensor. And you guys know I love a torque sensor, so let's get to it. Now, this is a Class 3 e-bike that can go up to 28 miles per hour, so I'm gonna need my X-Nito, which is going to be designed for those higher speeds. If you guys wanna learn more about this, see the link in the description below. But let's get to riding. All right, let's start off this ride with no pedal assist. This is a heavy bike, so probably are not going to want to pedal it. If you run out of battery, hopefully you don't go too far. I'm in the lowest gear right now, no pedal assist, and this is a heavy bike. So just keep that in mind, is you're not gonna wanna do this for long. Let's move our way into the pedal assist modes because I'm very excited to test out this torque sensor. So bump up into the first pedal assist. And there we go, we got a good natural delivery. I got some ghost pedaling since I'm needing to shift here a little bit, but still delivering good power. I will say, going through the woods here, I like this colored display and how bright it is. Even in the sunshine, I noticed. And, oh, no USB port on the bottom. I'm kind of surprised by that. It's one thing I'd like to see, because if I have a phone mounted here, which is pretty typical, I'd want to be able to charge off the bike's battery. I'm gonna hop into the trail here, because let's be honest, this is probably the most common use case for this bike is it's a fat tire taking it along the trail. I'm gonna keep it in that second pedal assist mode. The grips have this gel material on the center of them and then leather around the outside. And I can feel my palms putting pressure on those grips. These aren't my favorite. Honestly, I would probably swap those out pretty immediately. I like a rubberized grip with the paddle shape, especially, you know, when I start either on a hot day, getting sweaty, or just riding a lot. I want to be able to make sure I have maximum grip, especially when I'm going around bumpy terrain like this. So that'd be one thing that I would definitely swap out on this bike. And to that point, you know, if I'm going to use the throttle on a kind of a rough trail, I wish the rubberized material was on the thumb throttle as well. I am happy to see it as a thumb throttle though, and not a half twist throttle. Already I'm noticing that the hydraulic brakes perform really well. So not a lot of effort for me to pull that lever back and get that performance that I'm looking for. And I will say, man, this bike has an incredible riding position that is super comfortable. I know the handlebars are straight across, but I'm pretty much in an upright position. And my arms aren't extended out too much. So it is very comfortable. Now it's also really comfortable because I have some added accessories. I have the suspension seat post and the comfort saddle, which is extremely wide. And it's made out of like a gel material. It is so comfortable. This is probably one of the most comfortable seats that I've tested out. But, you know, just like the grips, saddles are a really easy thing to swap out and to upgrade if you want to get one that is designed for what you like as far as your preferences go. This torque sensor is performing really well. I like how it is giving me the power that I'm asking for on these hills. I will say, this 750 watt motor, you know, they tend to be more noisy, but this one I'm kind of surprised. It's pretty quiet. Let's get up this hill. Might have to use the throttle a little bit. Oh yeah, that throttle does not care about hills, that's for sure. This is definitely a super comfortable bike though. I'm really happy about how it feels even coming through this rough terrain, really thick roots. Well, let's hop off the trail here and see how it's gonna perform on the pavement. Yeah, this throttle has no issues going uphill, that's for sure. So I wanna test out the brakes a little bit more. They felt nice on the trail, but especially going down those hills, but I want to try to hit closer to that top speed of 28 miles per hour. This comes with a horn, and I wish more e-bike manufacturers would include a horn. Sometimes they have bells, but I just don't feel like they're sufficient enough to provide the safety and the sound that's loud enough for people to hear, especially in a commuting situation when you're amongst traffic. And if you have a bike that goes up to 28, it should just have a horn. All right, at the end of this hill, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna do a throttle test. So far, I will say that the tires are this wide tread. This is very confidence inspiring. It feels very stable. All right, I'm gonna jump up to that 5th pedal assist. We'll test out this throttle and we'll see if we can get up to 28 miles per hour with the throttle as well. So I know you can do it with pedaling, but let's see. Good gradual performance out of the throttle, but it does get up to speed pretty quick. See, we're going downhill a little bit, so it's gonna pick up the pace. And it caps at about 28 there, so even on that flat surface, I'm at 27 with the throttle all the way down. Honestly, some people might be scared of going that fast on a bike like this, but I felt very stable and very comfortable at that high speed. So good to know. Throttle goes up to 28. Honestly, I think that this bike is, so far, from what I've seen and from what I've experienced, one of the best options for a camping bike. I love the inverter as an accessory. It has tons of accessories just in general to choose from. But let's head back and I'll share my final thoughts about the Mokwheel Basalt ST. We're gonna start off with the improvements that I'd like to see. And there aren't too many of them because overall I think this is a pretty good bike, and I'll get into that in a second. But the first improvement I'd like to see is UL certification on the battery, not only for safety reasons, but also because it is becoming increasingly popular that certain locations are requiring that UL certification on batteries to even sell e-bikes. The next thing has to deal with service. Now, they do have some partners across the United States, but I wouldn't consider that a real service network. If you need repairs, there's a 2-year warranty for the parts, but you need someone to be able to put in the labor to fix the bike for you, and that's not a guarantee here. This is a minor detail, but I don't like these grips. I prefer a rubberized texture, so I'd probably swap those out immediately. Generally speaking, I'm very happy with the quality of the components. I really like the Shimano shifter. That's the style I prefer, but I wish that Mokwheel would have upgraded the derailleur here. This is a tourney, which is the entry level for Shimano, and I wish they would have spent a little bit of extra money to give me at least an Altis or an Acera. Similar to the tourney derailleur, I wish that Mokwheel would have included a USB port on the bottom of the computer here, because competitive bikes that are around $1,500, not in the like $2,000 range that you see here, they have those features. And I want to be able to take my phone with me and keep it charged up on longer trips, considering this is a big battery. All right, now on to the positive things, and there's quite the list, but let me first remind you of the things that are on this particular bike that are optional. I've added on as accessories. First off being this saddle, not only the comfort of the saddle itself, but the suspension seat post down here. I have the inverter on the frame here, and I have a front rack. I also have the mirrors, so those are not included with the bike out of the box. But man, this bike, as it ships, comes with a lot of really good stuff, including the fenders, the integrated lights off the front and the back, and the rear rack here. Now, the saddle that comes with this bike is actually pretty comfortable as well. It's just not as wide and comfortable as this one here that's optioned. And then it also has an adjustable stem that comes with this bike. What's crucial about this adjustable stem is that it allows me to choose whether or not I want to be down like in a mountain bike riding position, or if I want to have those handlebars back up like this, as I have them here, to be in an upright cruiser position. This has to be one of the most comfortable fat tire e-bikes that I have reviewed, not only because of the saddle situation I have here and the stem, but also because the front fork is hydraulic and it does a pretty good job of smoothing out all those bumps. Next up is performance, not only because this is a class 3 e-bike and it can go up to 28 miles per hour, but also because the power delivery is so smooth. With this torque sensor, I push down on that pedal and it gives me exactly what I'm asking for, but it also provides a really smooth and natural riding feel. So I'm really happy with the performance here. The thumb throttle is also smooth on both the low speed and high speed, so you can get up to 28 miles per hour pretty quickly if you want to. But with all that power, you do need stopping power, and I think that they did a great job in selecting these Tektro hydraulic brakes, and they're paired with 180 millimeter rotors, so this thing stops on a dime. One of the last things I want to talk about is aesthetics. Now, Mokwheel is not a big brand, and I wasn't expecting them to have very good build quality, to be honest. I thought I'd see a lot of welds that were sloppy, but I'm so impressed with the build quality here. The premium paint finish, just the little details of these graphics, blending in really nicely with this paint finish and making it a more reflective material. So it's really good for visibility, just like the reflective material on the tires. But I am just like blown away with how this feels like one of the high volume manufacturers' bikes, and I think they've done a brilliant job. The last bit of praise I want to shower on this bike has to do with the accessories. I am so incredibly impressed with the amount and variety of accessories that Mokwheel provides for their bikes, and Although you see quite a few of them on here, they have so many more to choose from on their website, so this is just the tip of the iceberg. But the most significant accessory out of all of them is this inverter here. And not only do I love the fact that it comes in a protected case that's waterproof and sealed that I can mount right on the frame of the bike, but the device itself looks super high quality and is very functional. This is gonna allow me to take that energy out of the battery from the bike and use it to power other devices. I think this is so impressive, and I wish more e-bike brands offered this type of technology for their bikes. Oh, and I almost forgot that this allows you to plug solar panels into that inverter and then into the bike so that I can have basically unlimited charging out at a campsite or remote places where I don't have electricity. That is a game changer. If you're looking for a fat tire e-bike with a torque sensor and a big battery and the ability to export the power from the bike to charge other devices, then this really is the only game in town. And at about $2,000, I think that is a fair price point, especially considering they give away a lot of accessories for free as well. Well, if you guys want to learn more about the Mokwheel Basalt ST, please see the link in the description below. Mokwheel might help support the Miss GoElectric channel if they find we're helping their customers find the right bike for them. I also have a discount code listed down there as well. Well, until next time, drive, fly, ride. Go electric.